Hello everyone. Welcome to our virtual event platform of eStudio, which is the web broadcast Nugent solution. The eStudio integrates with the social media live stream and is the future of talk shows, summits, group discussions, and product presentations, and in all, a dynamic marketing tool. So, let's enjoy today's talk show with our panel of guests on the new norms for the Thailand hospitality industry to enhance and transform guest experiences and regenerate business. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everybody. This is Megha Sharma from Google Travel. With me, I have Mr. Arjun Sood, who is the Cluster Director Sales of Marriott Thailand. Welcome, Arjun. How are you?
Very well, Megha. Thank you for having me here.
So, how does it feel, Arjun? Everything is coming back to normal?
Thailand's totally back to normal. I was stuck in a massive traffic jam yesterday, and I realized I would never be so happy to be stuck in a traffic jam. Uh, we are buzzing again. Hotels have started opening. In fact, all of them have opened. Restaurants have opened, and uh, and the last phase, which opened on the 1st of July, is also clear. So that means everything in Thailand has opened now. Uh, the most heartening thing has been that drivable places from Bangkok like Pattaya and Hua Hin have been overflowing with the domestic market. So that's been really a breath of fresh air given the current situation. In fact, we have a property, the Marriott Hua Hin, which is just about 3.5 hours drive from Bangkok, and it's had an overwhelming response. So we're doing really well there, and that's very heartening to see. If you like, we can have a quick glance at the property as well.
Wow, the property looks amazing. I haven't been there, Arjun. When did you start this one?
Property is just over 3 years old. In fact, it's probably one of the newest Marriott additions we've had, and it's bang in the middle of the city, and it's great for a holiday. It's located very
Wow.
well, and it's a beautiful product.
Yeah, it is. I haven't seen this. This travel deprived lady definitely wants to go next holiday for sure. Anyway, so let's come back to the subject, the new norm. So, what are the SHA guidelines that you all are following for the group?
See, the SHA guidelines have been implemented by Thailand, the government, and the authorities here. So that is a benchmark which they want to create in terms of a safety protocol. that everybody needs to follow. Of course, Marriott has a different set of guidelines and protocols, which is going to be standardized all across the world, which we're going to follow. But this is something the authorities want us to follow, which is great in a way. At the end of the day, it adds to the sense of security and safety for the customer.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna be a bad cop to you, Arjun. I'll try to be more like a client than being on the other side of the industry. So let's
So,
say I'm checking in, or any client is checking in. So, and you see or you suspect there are some health concerns with that guest. How do you plan to tackle that?
this is now things like these have become, we practice this. I mean, it's become a part of our SOP now. So if we know a guest who is 38 degrees and or above, and is showing symptoms, it's going to be flagged. The guest is going to be flagged as red. The guest is going to be isolated immediately, and the health authorities are going to be called upon, or the guest is going to be taken to the hospital. So, but complete isolation would be the answer to this.
So, what about the coffee shop, the food outlets, and the bar? Any guidelines, particular guidelines you're following up now?
Yeah, sure, Mega. Even before the hotels really got fully operational, we were allowed to open restaurants. So, this has been put into practice over the last couple of weeks already. And people in Thailand are getting out to eat. We've seen a great inflow of people coming into restaurants. So, there are lots and lots
That's
of
nice.
things we are doing. But some of the key things that I like to highlight are, we're going to do temperature checks before anybody enters the premises of the restaurant. They're going to be buffet shields around, for sneeze shields and buffet shields in general. All food will be served by the chef or the F&B staff, so the guests are not going to be taking the food themselves. Lots of live stations, which is an added benefit. Uh, so we have also started menus by QR code. So you actually put the QR code, and you can choose your menu well before you reach the restaurant. And we've seen a great feedback on this. A lot of people are actually doing payments by QR code, a no-touch payment method like Paytm, no pre-setting on table. So gone are the days when you could set up a table, beautifully, and so no more for now. Cutleries are going to come individually wrapped. Hand washing of the staff every 20 minutes. Sanitization of tables and chairs after every use. Overnight sanitization, regular surface sanitization. The guest service utensils, like the chafing dishes, and the dishes where the chefs are cooking food, and they're going to be replaced every 20 minutes, 30 minutes as well. And what we are also doing is, if you get a booking for 20, 30 people for larger groups, we are putting them into smaller groups and trying to maintain the level of intimacy as much as we can as well. So these are some of the key things that we've done so far.
Oh, well, apart from safety, all I can also see that, a little less of food wastage will also happen this way.
No, no,
So I'm
definitely, definitely.
Okay. Well, as a guest, if I have small kids, I may not want to sit on the restaurant and eat, but I would have to use the lifts for sure. So, anything in particular you have taken care with regards to the lifts?
Sure. Mega, firstly, the best thing that's happened because of all this is there's a general sense of hygiene that has gotten into people's minds. Even for myself, everywhere I see a hand sanitizer, it's like an impulse. I'll go and use it. So in the same way, at most of the points at the hotel, you're going to find sanitizers. Also, needless to say, it's going to be right outside the elevator as well. Apart from that, we will regularly disinfect the buttons, and which is going to be a periodic process for all public areas in the hotel. So we will be disinfecting the buttons and the entire elevator on a regular basis.
Ah, gives me a good assurance. Okay, and what about the check-in baggages that I will bring or the guests will bring? You plan to disinfect or something?
See, we are going to have staff dedicated for baggages only. Now, so if you're going to have four people which are only going to be doing the baggage, So luggage handling is going to be done by specific people, which are going to be wearing gloves, and we're going to be separating out the baggage accordingly. Another thing I like to add here, when you have groups in the hotel or people coming in a large group, I would always recommend now, if it's possible, for them to come staggered. Not because of a security or a safety method, because at the end of the day, we want to provide the same experience like we did before. So if you have a group of 10 people coming in or 20 people coming in, and if they can come in within a span of 10 minutes apart from each other, we can actually try and provide that same exclusive experience that we would have done otherwise. So yeah, answering your luggage question, separate staff and individually handled, and the staff wearing gloves at all times.
Ah, very nice, very nice. Okay, let me be a little bad cop to you. Okay, so how will be assured that your hotel staff who will be entering to make my room or maybe serve the food which I order for IRD, the hotel staff is clinically safe for me?
Sure. I mean, and this is going to be a daily process for us now. So, the staff have been briefed to report to the hotel immediately when not feeling well, and they will be asked to see a doctor instead of coming to work till the time they fully recover. So, that's become a complete standard now. Body temperature will be checked of each staff before they enter the premises of the hotel. Needless to say, the staff is going to be wearing masks at all time, and they will have their own regular sanitization processes. Also, the staff has gone through multiple trainings on how to protect themselves from the disease per se, and follow the right body language when dealing with guests in the lobby or in the rooms or in any other place in the hotel.
New social distancing norms. I want to know more about the banqueting because events and all are going to start. People are definitely going to do marriages and everything. So, what are your special preparations in terms of the banqueting, especially?
The Marriott Hua Hin, we've done lots of weddings in the last 3 years. We've done lots of groups as well. So this remains a very, very high focus for us. Currently, the social distancing guideline for function spaces requires that there is a minimum requirement of 1 meter between the tables and chairs. And our capacity charts have been redesigned to accommodate this accordingly. Now, there is also a guideline of 4 square meters per person, which also helps us calculate our maximum capacities per event space. So, for example, at the marquee, we've got varying banquet sizes, varying from literally 100 square meters to 100 square meters to 100 square feet to 13,000 square feet. So, for example, if you had a hall of about 6,500 square feet, which could take 250 people in round table seating, now that same hall with the social distancing guidelines can take 105 people. So as a hotel, we still have a slight advantage because we have a luxury of space. So if you're looking at doing a 200 people event, you might need a much larger space than what you needed much before, which we have at the Marriott Marquee. If you like, we can have a quick look at the property as well right now.
Yeah. Arjun, let me tell you, this reminds me of my last year's visit at Maki. I had such an amazing time there. Some good memories.
Look forward to
Okay,
having you back.
I'm sure I'll be back very soon. The traveler is in me is getting excited and it's just rising up. I can't tell you how am I feeling. Okay, okay. Let me ask you, Arjun, if you find there is a checked-in guest who's already staying in and has developed some medical symptoms which are not good, so how do you plan to help them medically?
The standard procedure remains the same. As mentioned before, uh, the in-house guest is going to be isolated and is going to be referred to a hospital, and a contact with the doctor is going to be established. But complete isolation is the only answer. We don't have isolation rooms, but the guest is going to be in the guest room that they are already.
And any medical assistance that you would be providing?
Correct, correct. The medical assistance is going to be called upon immediately. The hotel will, of course, not provide anything because that's something that the specialist will do. But we, of course, going to be in. We're going to have doctors on call, and they'll be called upon immediately.
You know, you would wonder why did I ask the medical question once again? Because I'm still on that zone, that foodie zone of the video. The delicious food I enjoyed in the my last stay. Uh, I'm just wondering what would be the food now when I come back to the hotel. Would you change the menus considering everybody is now healthy food, immunity booster food? But would there be any change, or I'll still enjoy the same food?
I mean, I think you've already answered this question for me. At the end of the day, and we actually did a pretty expansive survey on this, and people are not looking at immunity boosting food. And in room dining, Marriott has been serving healthy food, gluten free food, and things like that for a long, long time. In fact, specifically at the Marriott Hua Hin and at the Bangkok Marriott Marquee, we've done conferences purely based on nutrition, where we've actually customized menus for like where the guests requested nutritional buffets. So we've done stuff like that. Our chefs at the Marquee have an in-house farming where they do some organic vegetables. My point of saying all this is, uh, if somebody has a particular request, we are very well ready to customize it based on whatever they need. But we're not specifically going to have immunity boosting menus at this point in time because people are not looking forward to that. They want to try out the local food still, as long as it stays within the hygiene standards.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I've been traveling for long, but I have never tried gluten-free food or something like organic food or vegan food. Whatever best is there in the local. So, if
Correct.
that is the, I'm sure it'll make every customer happy. And the norms you've already taken, how you're going to take care of the hygiene and everything. That's really nice to know. And Arjun, what about I'll ask this question again. What about the lobby, the coffee shop? Because they are going to be the used the most. So, any particular timings you would have set up in terms of disinfecting that area?
See the high touch point areas in the hotel, like lobby and restaurants and other things. We're going to have a standard cleaning procedure of every 45 minutes to 1 hour. So all these places are going to be sanitized within a 1 hour window.
Oh, that's nice. So, every hour you will be disinfecting.
Correct. And like mentioned before, if somebody's sitting on a table and a chair, if they come and sit for only 10 minutes and have a coffee, that's going to be sanitized immediately. But other places are going to be sanitized every 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Oh, so that means no touch is going to be maintained all the time. Every time I go, I will get a seat which is absolutely sanitized.
Yes,
That's
that's the whole
nice. That's
idea.
very nice. Arjun, tell me one thing. We have already discussed about a checked-in hotel. We have already discussed about, guest who's already checking in. Suppose if, you have found out guest who was found symptomatic, and as you said that the medical assistance will be given, and maybe if required will be transferred to the hospital as well. But how are you going to ensure the safety of rest of the guests who are already staying there?
Sure. So like you said, the guest is recommended, the infected guest or the guest which is showing the symptoms is recommended to go to the hospital or must stay on in his or her room till the time we contact the health authorities. The floor will be closed for other guests, and that room, specific room, and that floor will undergo special treatment after the guest checks out. Now, because we have a standard cleaning process in place, these standards have been placed for exactly reasons such as these. We have a periodic sanitization process in place where we would be able to safeguard the other guests in case the infected guest has been around the hotel. So like we mentioned about cleaning every 45 minutes. So, if the infected guest has been around the hotel, we have this high standard of cleaning now to ensure that other guests would be safe as well.
Oh, your questions are quite satisfying, and I'm sure I am ready to roll. I'm ready to travel, and I'll definitely come and stay at Marriott only instead of going to any other brand. So, anything else you would want to speak? I'm set with my answers. I'm really happy with the measures that you've already planned.
No, Megha, it's really about perception now, and I think what I feel now is that safety will remain a priority and not just price. And people might just be willing to pay a little more if they feel a certain sense of security and safety in a particular place. So we are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that safety remains a priority.
Well, if anybody has a questions, I'm sure I can see some questions have already come. If somebody wants to ask some more questions, please do ask us. We will take some of the questions live. Otherwise, the platform is open till the 10th midnight. You can all send us the questions. They will be answered by Mr. Arjun Sood again on personal front. And there is a bonus for you all for watching us and for seeing how things are going to be, and you should be ready with your clients. Well, the best questions, the best asked questions, whatever we receive till 10th, they are going to get a nice 2 night stay at Marriott by Arjunji, right? Or
Absolutely,
am I?
absolutely, and we look forward to welcoming you.
So, viewers, I have got 2 nights vouchers for the questions that you're asking. So, think, and get good questions. I'm sure some of the questions might have very good answers for the brand, and they might incorporate something in their SOP as well. So, Arjun, there's one question which we received from Vikas, and I guess I had already asked you as well, that if a person is found COVID positive, what will you do with the floor? So, you've already told us what are the SOPs that you're going to follow. So, thank you, Vikas, for asking the question. There's a question from my friend Ankur Kalra. It's quite a funny question though. Do you feel, Arjun, that if you have a Chinese group and an Indian group at the same time, will people feel little insecure or will there be a discomfort? What do you think?
I think I'll let the people decide that. But having said that, as a hotel, we've always been kind of classifying groups differently. We have separate check-in areas. We have separate, we can organize private buffets for breakfast for them, which may be the contact points. If it makes the other guests comfortable, we can allocate floors for them separately. We can allocate a different section of the hotel separately. So as long as it gives the guest a sense of security and safety and peace, operationally, we are ready to manage this.
All right. I think, yes, it's up to people actually to decide whether
No, and
to.
yeah, and we can manage it. We can segregate it. We can put them in different corners, separate check-in areas, separate everything. They want a separate buffet breakfast, like I said. So it's all manageable.
Yeah, we've been seeing as such worldwide. Even there are special counters for Jains also, because generally they keep, they want something different from themselves. So I'm sure the brand can manage it really well. Should not be a problem. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe people might, I don't know, discriminate or not. Anyway, let's move to the next question from Shilpi Rakheja. Will there be a price difference when tourist session starts?
It always comes down to price. No, but it's understandable. See, now this is more about playing with the mindset, and it's a very question, because this is a time to, I shouldn't be using this word, but this is a time to exploit people like me and hotels, only because hotels are in a very defensive mindset. So if you sign a piece of business now with a comfortable cancellation clause or a force majeure clause which suits everybody, hotels are really willing to drop rates. Now, what happened is in Hua Hin, for example, we started out with an offer where we thought people are not going to come. It was a really low price. But then there was a lot of bottle up demand, and people really started flowing in, and we removed the promotion immediately. So in the same way, you don't know how the demand levels are going to be and how the perception is going to be. Therefore, I highly recommend signing business now, getting the best possible deals ever with a comfortable cancellation clause, and to not leave it to later. But at the end of the day, it's all a demand supply game. So if you still think things are going to carry on the way they are, of course we're going to be aggressive in our pricing as well.
Yeah, and it's comforting to know your answer also. I'm sure the domestic market in the country, our country as well, will start the same way, that we would expect more of domestic clients to start with. Okay, there's one more question from Ankur. Sorry, Ankur, one question per person. Uh, you can speak to Arjun later. Okay, so the next question is, in case of wedding, corporate events, banquet hall, the capacity has a capacity of 300 people now, but as per guidelines, how many people you will allow in the same hall? I think you've already answered it.
Yeah, sort of, but just to give you a rough idea, I mean, like we said, that at this point in time, there's a 4 square meter distance between every individual and a 1 square meter between chairs and tables. So it's very, very rough idea. I have a hall at the Marquee called the Sala Thai, which is 588 square meters, which is approximately 6,300 square feet. We can do 240, 250 in cluster there comfortably in the past, but now our number comes down to 106. So you can really say, let's say about 40 to 50% drop is going to happen.
So
So for
obviously,
300 people, yeah, for 300 people, you might just need a 10,000 square feet hall, or even a 11,000 square feet hall at this point in time.
yeah, so obviously there will be a difference in the price going forward in the banqueting as well. Okay. There is a very cute question which has come up from Nishant, has brought a good smile on my face also. He says, a smile always helps to attract customers. Let me know how do you plan to promote this when masks are mandatory? I think
This is
eyes should be
easy.
the answer.
Absolutely, I speak a different language altogether. And I mean, and on a serious note, uh, we have our telephone operators in the hotel. They are asked to smile on the telephone, because they know even if you're talking on the telephone, the person at the receiving end knows that you're smiling. So at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
nothing can replace the human touch. Not literally the touch now, but nothing can replace the human feel. And as long as we have that passion and that smile, I think it's going to take care of things.
Yeah, it's something that you can feel, like as you said, even on the phone call also we can feel whether the person is annoyed, happy, or whatever. The feelings are always passed on if you're doing it with heart. So okay, there's one more question, I guess. We'll take just one more question online. It is from Avineet Metra. What is the precaution hotel is taking in bar area? I think you've answered.
Yeah, so similar to the restaurants, the bars, they all fall under the same category. So of course, the tables have to have social distancing. 2 people per table, of course, as long as there's the adequate distancing. But every time somebody leaves a bar stool or a bar table or a table in the restaurant, every time that's going to be sanitized. Apart from that, in the bars and restaurants, we're going to have a regular sanitization process every 45 minutes. So that's a standard we'll follow in general. But anytime somebody leaves a table or a chair, be it even after 5 minutes, and the guest is leaving the restaurant after a cup of coffee, it's going to be sanitized.
Thank you, Arjun. I'm sure, even after these questions, also, I'm quite satisfied and convinced that Marriott is the brand to go. Well, it's 12:03. We were supposed to close by 12, so we're already above the schedule. Arjun, I would like to thank you for your time. For the viewers, we will take rest of the questions later. And on the day after tomorrow, we have an event at 11:30 again. So on the 11th, I think. Sorry. So we can definitely we will be announcing the winner, the winning question, I would rather say. And thank you, Arjun, for your time. Just a small curiosity I want to say. I'm thoroughly enjoying using this Tech2Go platform. How about you? Isn't it a different platform, different feeling?
Yeah, I mean, this is the way forward, I think. And it's
Yeah.
pretty user friendly. I mean, I've used it for the first time myself, and we've had no lags at all. So, I want to thank Tech2Go and TAT also for organizing this. It's platforms like these which help you give the accurate information, because I think there's so much fear and worry about these little things. That's going to be the way forward now. So more about perception than anything else. So thanks to TAT, Tech2Go, and to you, Mega, for making me a part of this.
Yeah, thank you, Arjun. And yes, not to forget and not to say, I really want to thank TAT as well for helping us organize this, and Tech2Go, of course. And we are assured of Marriott as a brand, Marriott Thailand, to take care of everything as per new norms. And yes, I think we are good to go. And as per the new norms, instead of saying hello and bye, we are saying
Sawadee
so. I would like to call this off with a namaste, or maybe, as you said, Swadika, and we shall sign it off. And we will wait for more questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing everyone soon. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. See you all. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Bye bye.